Every man carries two selves, the one he shows the world and the one he hides in the dark. The hidden self, the shadow, is not some mystical thing. It's the collection of urges, memories, fears, and desires you've pushed down, denied, or been shamed for. It's the version of you you hope no one ever sees. Most men spend their whole lives running from that part. They drown it in distraction, numb it with cheap pleasure, bury it under fake confidence and fake toughness. But what you refuse to face owns you. Until you turn and confront the darkness inside, you will live as a prisoner of impulses you don't understand. You'll keep asking, why do I do this? Why do I always end up here? And the answer will always be, because the shadow is driving when you're not looking. Shadow work is not about perfection. It's not about fixing yourself. It is about confrontation. It's about standing alone with the truth you buried and refusing to look away this time. If you want power, discipline, and control, not just over your circumstances, but over yourself, you must face the part you hide. 1. The shadow is not your enemy. Carl Jung wrote, "The shadow is everything you refuse to be." Think about that. Everything you say, "That's not me. I'm not like that. I'd never do that." That's where your shadow lives. Your anger that you call just stress. Your envy that you label motivation. Your insecurity that you mask with jokes. Your arrogance that you protect with fake humility. Your addiction that you downplay as just a habit. Your lack of discipline that you excuse with, "I'm just tired." All of that? Shadow. But here's the twist. The shadow also contains your power. That anger you were punished for as a kid, buried inside it is your capacity for assertiveness and boundaries. That jealousy you hate feeling when other men win, hidden in it is your drive to become more than you are right now. That fear that grips you before you speak, act, or lead, inside it is your ability for caution, awareness, and courage. A man does not become weak because he has a shadow. He becomes weak because he denies it, represses it, and refuses to learn from it. When you pretend you're above anger, fear, envy, lust, or ego, you don't remove them. You just lose sight of where they are. And anything you can't see can control you from the dark. 2. How to find your shadow. If you want to find your shadow, you don't need crystals or ceremonies. You need brutal honesty and a pen. Start here. First, notice your triggers. Who makes you instantly angry? What kind of comment makes you feel small? When do you suddenly feel defensive, like you have to explain yourself? Those spikes are not random, they are alarms. The shadow is hitting the panic button saying, "You touched an old wound right there." Second, look at your repeating patterns. The same type of relationship that falls apart, the same lie you tell yourself before you relapse, the same excuses you use before you quit. Life is not just happening to you. If different people, different jobs, and different seasons all lead to the same pain, the common denominator is you. That's shadow territory. Third, study what you judge in other men. The loud guy you call cringe, the successful man you label arrogant, the quiet guy you mock as weak. Often what disgusts you in them is either something you secretly fear you are or something you're ashamed you haven't become yet. The shadow speaks in mirrors. It uses situations and people to show you the pieces of yourself you're trying to exile. 3. The courage to look inward. Shadow work begins with a question most men are terrified to ask. What am I most afraid people would find out about me? Not the polished answer, not the respectable weakness, the real one. Maybe it's that you feel small around other men. Maybe it's that you feel like a fraud in your own life. Maybe it's that when things get hard, you run. Maybe it's that you're addicted to attention, to porn, to substances, to chaos. Whatever it is, write it. Because once it's on paper, it's no longer a ghost. It's real, and real things can be faced. Then ask, where did this part of me come from? Go back. To the moment you first felt like you weren't enough, to the day you were laughed at, rejected, humiliated, abandoned, to the time you were told, don't cry, don't be angry, don't be weak. As a boy, you learned that some emotions were unsafe, so you pushed them down, built walls, and put on masks. That's how the shadow was born. Shadow work does not mean blaming your past. It means understanding it, so it stops silently writing your present. Most men are still reacting like wounded boys, covering fear with bravado, covering shame with jokes, covering emptiness with noise. Shadow work is the moment you stop saying, I'm just like this, and start saying, I became like this. Now, I can become something else. 4. Acceptance. The power move most men avoid. The moment you stop hiding from a weakness, it loses its power to sabotage you from behind the scenes. Acceptance is not, I guess I'm broken. This is just who I am. Acceptance is, yes, this exists in me. I'm done lying about it. That's the power move. Because the second you accept, for example, I have a problem with anger, you can now build structure around it. You can say, when I feel the spike, I walk away for 5 minutes. I don't argue over text. I don't drink when I'm already resentful. Before acceptance, anger was driving. After acceptance, you are behind the wheel, with anger buckled in the back seat. Same with envy. If you admit, I feel jealous when other men win because I'm not making moves, that pain can become fuel. Instead of gossiping, belittling, or hating, you can study, learn, and outwork. Your shadow becomes your intel. It shows you where you've been weak, so you know exactly where to train. A man who integrates his shadow does not walk around bragging about being healed. He walks around aware, not surprised by his impulses, not controlled by them either. He is not perfect. He is whole. 5. Practical shadow work for men. Shadow work isn't just talking to yourself in your head. It needs a container. Here's a simple framework you can run every day or every week. Step 1. The mirror question. Ask yourself, what did I do, think, or feel this week that I would be embarrassed to admit? Don't justify it. Don't dress it up. Write it exactly as it is. Step 2. The origin trace. Ask, when have I felt this before? Who made me feel this way first? Maybe the anger comes from never being allowed to express yourself as a kid. Maybe the neediness comes from being abandoned. Maybe the arrogance comes from being invisible for too long. This isn't about blame. It's about mapping the territory of your mind. Step 3. The warrior version. Ask, if this trait had a strong, disciplined version, what would it look like? Anger, assertiveness, and protection. Envy, drive to improve and self-respect. Fear, awareness, readiness, and courage. Lust, desire channeled into intimacy, not mindless escape. Laziness, need for recovery, structured into deliberate rest. Step 4. The daily drill. Pick one shadow trait at a time. Build one small practice around it. If your shadow is laziness, your drill might be, no phone until after I complete my first task. If your shadow is rage, your drill might be, when I feel triggered, I say nothing for 60 seconds. If your shadow is neediness, your drill might be, I will sit with loneliness for 10 minutes without reaching for distraction. Step 5. Review without self-disgust. At night, look back. Not to shame yourself, but to see clearly. When did the shadow win today? When did I win? The point isn't to erase your shadow. The point is to outgrow it. 6. The shadowed man versus the integrated man. Look around. You can see the shadow running men's lives everywhere. The man who explodes in traffic over nothing. The man who drinks until he can't feel. The man who cheats because he's starving for validation. The man who scrolls away his potential every night. He's not evil. He's unintegrated. He's ruled by urges he refuses to look at. Now, look at a man who has done his inner work. He still has anger, desire, fear, and ego. Of course he does. But he knows when they show up. He can say, "I'm angry right now, but I'm not going to speak from it. I'm attracted, but I'm not going to destroy my integrity for it. I'm scared, but I'm moving anyway." That is not numbness. That is mastery. The shadowed man reacts. The integrated man chooses. That is the difference between living like a boy and living like a man. 7. The call to men. Stop hiding. The world is full of men hiding. Hiding behind jokes. Hiding behind status. Hiding behind busyness. Hiding behind substances, screens, and noise. But hiding never works. The parts you don't deal with now will show up later in ways you can't control. In your relationships, your work, your body, your addictions. If you want to be dangerous in the right way, stable, grounded, hard to shake, you cannot afford to be a stranger to your own darkness. The warrior does not just sharpen his sword. He sparked his soul. He looks in the mirror and sees not just the polished version, but the ugly, scared, angry, damaged one. And he says, "You're mine. I'm not disowning you. I'm shaping you." That is shadow work. Not self-hatred, not endless self-pity. Ownership. When you face your darkness, you stop being half a man. You stop being controlled by sabotage and patterns you don't understand. You stop being a victim of the boy you used to be. You become the man who can look at his past and say, "I came from that, but I am not that anymore." Integrate your shadow, own your story, and watch the world change because you did.